I make it a rule at breakfast, rustic, heavy-grain muesli. I always take it. How's your roughage, Ben?
Oh, we get a good deal of roughage in old master paintings, thanks, Chairman.
You may be wondering why I asked you here.
So we get a real insight into your breakfast habits.
Muriel is away, and cook is poorly, so it had to be here.
Beggars can't be choosers.
I asked you both here because we're about to see a miracle, a world revolution. The Russian bear has embraced the free market economy. Now that the Cold War is ended, we're seriously thinking of opening Klinsky's in Moscow. So I'm sending you two out there to sniff out the possibilities.
Oughtn't you to send Meredith Bland from Icons?
I'm afraid our man in Icons has been refused a visa by the Russian embassy.
But Mary was caught in flagranti with an Orthodox monk behind Lenin's tomb.
I believe it's some sort of misunderstanding. However, Meredith will give you all of his contacts in Russia. So, Klinsky's has put its trust in you.
Most important, Olga Krupinskaya, widow of General Krupinski, still has an office at the Voynitsky Gallery, knows everybody. And Ivan Grekov, Ministry of Culture, charming fellow.
He isn't a monk by any chance.
Ivan Grekov, a monk? Quite the reverse. He did a spell at the Harvard Business School and goes on holiday with Club Med.
Mary, are you telling us these people are going to help us open up Klinsky's in Moscow?
They'll say they will. Perhaps they can. Don't worry about it. I'd advise you to take advantage of the incidental pleasures.
Is that why you can't get a visa? Too many incidental pleasures?
That was a bureaucratic muddle.
Secretive sort of people.
Bureaucrats, you can say that again.
No, I meant the saints and the icons. You look at those beautiful almond eyes and you can't tell what they're thinking.
You like them?
Oh, very much. They're like Italian primitives.
And they fetch huge prices, especially if they're by Rublev. While you're there, see if anyone's heard any news of the Virgin of Vitebsk.
Who?
This one, painted in 1425.
Not really Giotto, but...
Beautiful.
Rublev's masterpiece, lost since before the war. Mind you, I've heard rumors that it's about to surface. The tragedy for the art world is that even if it does, it can't be got out of Russia. The export of old icons is absolutely forbidden. But the law's not necessarily the most important thing in Moscow.
What is?
Money.
We're not going to like it, you know.
Like what?
Russia.
You mean you're not going to like it?
Neither is. We come from the workers, Maggie. My father was a copper and you had travelled in paper cups.
No, you didn't. You travelled in frightfully nice soap.
One good thing about this trip,
Thank God for that.
we'll be together. Moscow can't be full of old Etonian Hooray Henry wine buffs. I'll get you all to myself.
Flight SK030, which is bound for Moscow.
Passport, tickets, boarding pass, travelers' check. Schoolgirls going to Russia. I'm extremely apprehensive. They look as though they're going for an exciting trip to the Natural History Museum.
Euroclass straight through.
I think someone else is going to Russia.
Thank you.
Shrimsley probably set off for Lanzarote, but lost in the way.
Somehow, I don't think he'd set off for Lanzarote wearing a fur hat.
Welcome, comrades.
Oh, Shrewsbury, you're off on a sunshine break. I think you're in the wrong queue.
Well, I'm coming with you, fellows. Didn't the Lord Chairman tell you?
The Lord Chairman told us very little. He was at a breakfast meeting.
Well, you two are doing the arty bits, and I'm going to sort the nuts and bolts out for the business side. See you in Euroclass.
You're not going in Euroclass.
We were told Klinskis was cutting back on travelling expenses.
Oh. See you in Moscow then. Das vidanya.
What did he say?
Goodbye. I think he's been learning Russian.
Ben, Maggie, Mr. Yakov from Russo Trading and his colleague Mrs. Polina, the colleagues from Klinskis. I think there's a chap from Interis looking for you, Ben. Yes, over there. Иди сюда, пожалуйста. Quite warm. See you at the Metropole.
Mr. Glazier, Miss Barone, welcome to Moscow. I'm here to arrange your program and to look after you well. I will be, as you say, your guide, your philosopher, and I hope your friend. May I take your luggage, Miss Barone?
Yes, sir.
Alyosha. The other name is too difficult to say, so please call me Alyosha, as we are to be friends, I'm sure.
Thank you, Alyosha. It's really very kind of you.
Начинается регистрация и проверка багажа пассажиров, вылетающих из СС. Attention, please.
See, there's two here. Goose-stepping automata.
They're a tourist attraction, Mr. Glazier. Like your changing guards at Buckhouse.
Buckhouse?
That's what Mr. Meredith Bland, your colleague, always called it. Is it not the correct name for your palace? Now, it may interest you to see GUM, our great department store in Red Square. Russians are here mainly to look.
Really? And who buys?
I think some hard currency prostitutes, small-time thieves, and the mafia, of course.
Where are we going next?
Mr. Glazier said he needed a drink. I understand you don't mean fruit juice, which is called sok in Russia. You want something stronger than sok.
You're damn right I would.
Yes, I am worried, quite honestly. I have to tell you this. In the old days, at least, we knew where we were.
In the Lubyanka, if you didn't toe the line.
Shh, Ben. Let Alyosha tell us.
Oh, all right. Pardon me for living.
Life was hard for us. Very, very hard. There was nothing to buy, nothing in the shops. Few motor cars, no stereo sets or facsimile machines. Mr. Glazier is right. You had to take care of what you said. So all we could do was to lead a rich inner life. You saw people on the metro in those days. They were reading good novels and great poetry. What are they reading now? I'm afraid it will be soft pornography and computer magazines.
You were afraid you may lose your souls.
You understand, Miss Brown.
Please, Maggie.
Maggie? I may call you Maggie. That's for Margaret, isn't it? Most beautiful name. We're named after Mrs. Maggie Thatcher. Many people in Russia found her most beautiful lady. Are you quite all right, Mr. Glazier?
Another vodka, I think, for medical purposes.
Perhaps the journey was difficult for you, at your age. No, Maggie. I'm not quite happy about the future. You see, Maggie and Ben, my friends, we have suffered so much. Cold, ice, Tsars, Stalin. I myself live in a very small apartment with my sister Tatiana, with her 2 husbands, one of whom she divorced, my mother, and all their children, also a troublesome dog. But as I said, we have an inner life. We have curds and whey. Should we be better off with 20 sorts of yogurt to choose from at breakfast, as you do in the West?
I don't think you're in any danger of losing your soul, Alyosha.
Oh, my God.
Mr. Glazier. Ivan Grekov. Miss Barone. Please, please. Oh, your guide, yes. Please sit down. I got it. I have been jogging. American style, you see. Oh, in old days, we used to goose step. Now, we all learn to jog.
You still have a bit of goose-stepping, though.
Well, only at Lenin's tomb. Lenin's dead. He don't get around much more these days. Now we have entrepreneurial society. Already we have McDonald's, we have Pizza Hut. What honor if we could also welcome great House of Klinsky.
No doubt all your citizens would be queuing up for a Picasso drawing on regular Fridays.
But there are other people besides myself who must be spoken to about this matter. There are other departments who must be consulted. I will give you a list of those people you must see. I'm sure you will find them all very entrepreneurial guys, every one of them. Most thrusting. As I was saying to your colleague, Mr. Shrimsley.
He's been here already?
Yes. Mr. Shrimsley, the early bird. And I am poor worm. Amusing, no? You don't find this? No. I suggest to him premises in Petrovka Street, formerly Department of KGB. You see, we change from secret police to fine art. What world of difference.
I suppose they can both be concerned with crime.
So entertaining. Miss Perron, you have perhaps something else you wish to touch upon?
Someone suggested we ask what you know about a picture. An icon by Rublev?
I am mind reader. I know your inquiry is about Virgin of Vitebsk. Terrible tragedy. This small icon, by all accounts, small, very beautiful icon. Virgin of Vitebsk. We have knocked over all statues of Stalin. Why? Because he was thief. Long before war, he stole many great Russian works of art. I know he sold Virgin of Vitebsk to line his own pocket. Who bought? This is mystery. But I heard that perhaps soon she will appear in Germany. I hope it. Who else do you go and visit?
Mrs. Olga Krupinskaya.
The Voynitskaya Gallery. Yeah, dear Olga. Old style, unreconstructed communist, I'm afraid, but great art expert. From her you may learn something of great value, I hope it. You give her my good love. You tell her to start jogging and invest in foreign currency.
Da? Ivan, telephone.
Telephone. Goodbye, dear colleagues from Klinsky. You see, trouble with entrepreneurial society, telephone always ring. I wish you all best for your business in Moscow. Salam. Allo? Da.
Thank you.
This way, please.
Klinsky's, of course. The name is famous. You take a small cake? A little vodka, perhaps? No? My husband, the general, always took vodka for breakfast. It's good on the stomach. I tell you, Ben, we are giving away our country to Western politicians and the mafia, all the treasures we have left. But such a house as Klinsky's, yes, I think we could do some business. We could trust each other.
Of course. There are many great works of art.
You are his mistress.
I'm afraid not. Maggie is head of Old Masters. In fact, she's my boss.
Oh, strange. I took her for your mistress. My husband, the general, had many mistresses.
Always took one for breakfast.
What did Ben say?
He suggested that General Krupensky had a mistress for breakfast.
Oh, that's good. Yes, very good.
There's one masterpiece we're unable to see, apparently, the Virgin of Vitebsk.
Oh, it's our greatest work of art. Stolen by the Germans. Looted. What for? To hang in lavatory of Reich Marshal Goering. I wouldn't be surprised. Where is it now? Who can tell? We may never find it again, only by great good luck.
And how did you lose it?
I tell you, it was in monastery, attacked by the Germans. Our soldiers fought to save it. They were good communists, but they fought to save that famous icon. Many were killed fighting in that monastery. Some were shot in front of icon itself. The Virgin looked on while they were shot.
Is that the story?
It's the truth. My husband was there, a young officer, fighting. I have seen him weep when he heard how icon was lost.
If we did open in Moscow, do you think... I mean, are there people with money interested in pictures?
There are enough people with money. Where there are poor, there are always rich also. Now we have some in Mercedes cars and many sleeping on rubbish dumps. Things were better in time of old communist, when General Krupensky was alive.
Everyone out to the minibus. Hurry up now. We've got to be back at the hospital for lunch. And you know how gruesome the food gets if we're late. Come along, all of you. Quick as you can, out to the minibus. Now, where's Angela got to? Poor girl. Anyone seen Angela?
Ben, you all right?
Just coming, but a bit lost around the back of a fresco from the Snedogorsky Monastery. Good night, Alyosha.
Thank you, my friends. Wonderful evening.
Hey, you English?
No.
I can show you around this town. You guys want to know how to have a good time in Moscow?
These are my clients. I arrange their program as their guide, officially accredited.
Okay, keep your cool. See you around.
I know that sort. This is a good time for no good people. So, now he has gone. I will leave you.
Sleep well, Alyosha.
The fridge in my room is overflowing with nuts and vodka. Why don't you call him for a nightcap?
Ben, darling, I'm just exhausted.
Too much, Alyosha. Yes, does tend to wear a person out.
You don't mind, do you?
No, no, of course not.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Well, rather tired.
Yes, you would be. Got my girls settled in for the night in the youth hostel. I came here for a civilized drink.
I think you've seen your schoolgirls.
School young women, actually. Highly privileged daughters of television executives and brain surgeons. About to go mad on Champansky and Russian interpreters. I teach modern languages at St. Peter's Bayswater for my sins.
Do Russian interpreters have that effect on girls?
Oh, yes. Especially English girls.
Well, actually, I am rather tired.
It was wonderful to bump into you. I'll see you around.
Yes, well, yes, perhaps. Maggie? Maggie? Yes?
This is Meredith Bland. I hope it's not too late.
Oh, hello, Mary. No, of course not.
I hear you saw Olga Krupinskaya yesterday.
How did you know that?
What about the Virgin?
What do you mean? I don't think I know any virgins.
The Virgin of Vitebsk, Ben. What did she tell you about that?
Oh, that the Germans stole it.
You seeing her again?
She said so.
Well, give me a ring at Klinsky's if she comes through with anything definite. Promise me that. Good night, Ben.
God rest you, Mary.
Good morning, Ben.
Good morning. You're hungry?
Yes, I am rather.
Yes, I thought you might be. You've got a week's work ahead, you know. Museums, galleries, rush show trade. Oh, by the way, Mary Bland rang last night. I might have put him on to you if you hadn't been otherwise engaged.
I was asleep.
Oh, were you? Was that boring, was it?
Well, we'll get going then as soon as Alyosha turns up.
Turns up. Don't you mean comes down?
I left a message at the desk asking him to join us for breakfast. You don't mind, do you?
Mind? Why on earth should I mind? I'd be delighted to spend every waking hour with Alyosha, getting fascinating insights into his soul. No doubt you're thinking of taking him to England. Perhaps you'll get him a job at Klinsky's, and he could teach us all spiritual values.
Ben, are you feeling quite well?
I'm feeling fine, thank you very much. Of course, I wasn't up half the night throwing champagne glasses at the wall.
No, I don't suppose you were.
Good morning.
Ah, good morning. I got the message.
I think you got it yesterday.
Доброе утро, Ben. I must say you look well and healthy. Are you ready for our program?
Good morning. Have I not read of people starving in Russia? I'm glad your soul can cope with bacon and sausages and all the other little luxuries.
It's very true, Ben. Some of our old pensioners are hit by inflation. Yes, they are going hungry. And they would be just as grateful for a well-cooked breakfast as I am. Many thanks to your great company, Klinsky's.
Your number, please.
Oh, 404.
What?
I said room number 404.
Yes, I mean, no, I'm 405 and you're next to me. Surely you're 406.
No, I'm next door the other side, Ben.
The other side? Yes. Really the other side? Excuse me, both of you.
Hello there, comrade. Can't wait, work to do.
Of course.
What
Secretary of the Ministry of Culture, Secretary of the Department of Trade, Secretary for the Encouragement of Foreign Businesses. They answer all our questions with a charming shrug.
Keith Shrimsley seems to be achieving something,
I shudder to think what.
and we're getting precisely nowhere.
I wonder where we were meant to get exactly. When Mary Bland rang up, he didn't ask for the Department of Trade or whether we'd assigned the lease of the new offices. He was only anxious about the Virgin.
Of Vitebsk?
Exactly. I have an uncomfortable feeling she might be the real reason we're out here. I have an idea someone at Klinsky's is making use of us. If the Virgin turns up, we might be expected to take her back to England.
I love you, Ben. You're suspicious of everyone.
That's not true.
Not true that you're suspicious of everyone.
Not true that you love me.
I'm so sorry. Cafe's shut.
Oh, what a shame.
Olga Kropotskaya wanted to see us again. Time is running out.
I think she's not been too well. I shall make inquiries.
Meredith Bland thought she had something important to tell us. What do you think it was?
I really don't know. Now, as we are getting near the end of the tour, I would like to discuss our program for tomorrow night. What would you like? In the theater, there's an interesting play about agricultural workers in the Ukraine. Exceedingly controversial.
Yosha, please have mercy on us.
Or, I might suggest, a jazz club in the Arbat. Would you like it?
Oh, sounds interesting.
Ben, perhaps you would prefer to rest?
What, twiddle my thumbs in the hotel while you go dancing with Maggie? This may come as a shock to you, Alyosha, but I've always been known to foxtrot with the best of them. I could cry, salty tears, where have I been all these years? Little one, tell me now, how long has this been going on? There were chills up my spine, and some thrills I can't define.
Go on, Angela. Go and do your Can't Hurry Love.
Yeah,
go on, please.
Go on, Angela. Go on. Oh, what a dancer. I've always told you you've missed your vacation.
I know, who cares about art?
You should have joined the chorus line.
Oh, the hell with the chorus line. At the moment, I feel like the juvenile lead. That was pure pleasure.
I need love, love,
Who's that?
Oh, the girl singing.
I need to find
I'm afraid I've absolutely no idea. Maggie, could I invite you for a dance? A little more up-to-date, perhaps?
All right, Ben.
Extraordinary.
Shouldn't you be asleep?
Why?
Tucked up in the dormitory of the students' union. What's your teacher going to say about this?
Oh, Fatty. Well, she's quite broad-minded. Well, you should know that as well as anyone.
Should I?
She knows I've been here before. Last year, in fact, after O-levels. I've made quite a few friends, and, well, they asked me to sing here. It's a lot more exciting than plodding round icons.
Very enterprising.
I guess I ought to ask Batty to come along. She gets quite lonely. Why don't you do something about her? She's always talking about you.
Does she really? How extraordinary. What does she say?
That you know all about pictures.
Oh, well, that's entirely true.
I think we bumped into each other. Outside the Hotel Metropole. You are an art dealer.
I suppose so, in a way.
An art dealer from England. I am Vasily Lubov. My business card. I import and export works of art.
Isn't there some sort of law that...
There are many laws. They make very little difference to life in Russia.
Please, leave these people alone. Спокойнее, сказал. Пошел.
So's broken out.
Maggie, Ben, perhaps we should leave here now and interrupt our program.
Batty.
Did you hear my girls call me that?
Your girls get around, don't they?
You never called me Batty, did you?
Of course not. What did I call you exactly?
I'd better not remind you.
No, why not?
Mightn't it be a little dangerous at our age? Hello?
Hello, Maggie.
Alyosha, where are you?
I'm here, in the hotel. Perhaps we could have a nightcap? I must talk to you.
Ben's in the bar, so we couldn't go there. He didn't see you, did he?
No. Nobody saw me. I'm so sorry about tonight.
What was it all about?
Such people are ruining our country. Everything can be bought. Everything. We don't want communism back. Secret police. Never. But we don't want to be bought and sold.
Alyosha,
Yes, Maggie.
I don't want to intrude into your private life.
Please. I would like you to.
Smart ass.
What?
Sally Smart ass. That's what you used to call me.
Sally Smartass. Looked a little like a Botticelli nymph out of the Primavera.
Nice of you to say so.
Thin and dreamy and used to smoke the occasional cigar.
And paid for both of us for a weekend in Le Touquet.
Called Smartass because she attracted money. That's who you were. Of course, I didn't remember Batty.
I suppose I'm glad you didn't remember her. But you haven't forgotten Le Touquet, have you?
Every moment's etched in my memory forever.
I thought for a moment you'd forgotten me entirely.
I can't imagine where you got that idea.
Do you think you can get a cigar in this bar?
I felt that when we first met. In the bar in Red Square, remember? I knew that. Here's someone who's not here for money. Here's someone who cares about all the things that are important to us. Zdrowie.
Cheers.
And, are you happy here?
Le Touquet was terrific fun.
And all the rest of it, of course. Sally Smartass.
You know, Ben, you haven't changed a bit.
You haven't changed either.
You always were the most appalling liar. I wonder.
What?
I wonder if we should go on where we left off.
I wonder.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I suppose it's bound to be someone else in your life.
Well, not exactly, but...
There is someone else in your life.
I think now I must go.
Must you?
Back to my apartment.
Isn't it a bit overcrowded?
Very much so, but they're expecting me back. Sometime, perhaps, I could stay with you longer.
Sometime.
When we have had a better evening.
But I enjoyed myself. I really did.
Away from the presence of the mafia. Good night, Maggie.
Good night, Alyosha.
Oh, Maggie. Я тебя люблю.
I haven't had time to learn Russian.
I love you. Я тебя люблю.
Getting results, are you, Ben?
I'm not quite sure what results we're aiming for. It's some very enjoyable dancing.
Dancing? How extraordinary. We're not here to dance, Ben. We're here to sell the Russians Klinsky's East. It's not dancing.
What do you call that? Skating on thin ice?
No, not at all. We're on firm ground. I've got close to Grekov at the Ministry of Culture. And I've managed to bring off a bit of a triumph in your speciality, Ben.
But you've been dancing too.
No, I can't promise, of course, but through Grekov, Klinsky's might be able to sell a work of enormous importance, one of the finest examples of its genre. Typically Russian, of course.
So what do you want Maggie and I to do exactly?
Work for Klinsky's?
And end up in the gulag?
No, not at all. No, nothing like that. Sorry, old man, I can't tell you any more just now. It's still top secret at the moment. A sober Sekrietna. Oh, these chaps trust me. They told me a lot in strict confidence. And I'm not going to let them down.
Cemetery, near to Chekhov's grave. Please come alone. I have something to tell you of great importance. Something that will change our lives.
All right. I'll tell Ben I'm going shopping. He hates shopping.
Shall we say 3 o'clock?
Yeah. Ja тебя люблю.
Are you alone?
Yes.
And tomorrow you go home.
Oh, but I'll be coming back if we open the gallery.
I have got it.
What?
It is for us. I told you you are the only person I could trust with it. It'll be for both of us. For us to share. Some time, we said. Now I can tell you that time has come.
Alyosha, what are you talking about?
Oh, nothing much. Just the Virgin of Vitebsk. I stole it.
You what?
Oh, it has had such a history of stealing. The Germans didn't steal it. You know who did? Old General Krupensky, Olga's husband. He told everyone the Germans had taken it from the monastery. What nonsense. He took it and kept it for himself. And you know what? This brave officer lacked the courage to sell the icon.
Alyosha!
But Olga didn't. She was going to sell it to you. And you know what she would do with the money? Use it for her stupid politics. All the women in woolly hats who want communism back. And their friends who put Jesus as well as the hammer and sickle in their red banners. What a waste. We shall sell it together, Maggie. Just you and I. And I could come to England, and we could live in some big apartment without any of my relatives.
Alyosha, have you gone completely mad?
I think suddenly I have gone completely sane. Look, tonight, I will bring the picture to you. It is not large. We shall think of ways of getting it to England.
You're the one who was afraid about being corrupted by the West. You're the one who talked about the Russian soul.
You liked that, didn't you?
seems I was fooled by it.
You wanted me to have a soul so you could feel good about me. So you could feel better about all our family, squashed in 3 rooms in a block where our drunk neighbors use the lift for a toilet.
So you set out to fool me.
I set out to make you love me. I know. I know what English girls like about us. And it's true also. It will be true for both of us. When we have sold the icon and saved it from being wasted, we can go to England, America. We can afford to live rich and alive together.
How could we live? On stolen property?
There's no one in the West who does that.
Some people, perhaps, but that's not the point.
They can't preach to me. They beat us in the arms race. They pulled down the Berlin Wall. They destroyed communism. They think it's their great triumph. But after that, what do they expect us to live on? Honesty? Please, don't make me laugh. Do you seriously think there are honest livings to be got in Russia nowadays? I must go now. Tonight, I bring the picture.
No, Alyosha, no.
I come tonight.
No, listen, it's impossible. It's ridiculous. It's quite impossible.
Don't follow me. It might not be safe for you.
Alyosha, come back. I don't even know your name.
Gentilowski. Alyosha Gentilowski. That's a funny name to you, isn't it?
No. No, it's not funny. Come back.
Tonight.
Alyosha. Alyosha. Come back. Alyosha.
Successful shopping?
No,
Oh, sorry. You're hungry?
not particularly. Why don't we go out this evening?
Where?
Well, anywhere. Just so long as we're not in the hotel. Let's go and see something.
Maggie, what's happened?
Nothing.
Really nothing?
I think it's probably nothing. I can't believe anything's really happened at all.
Он вышел из дома, я пойду за ним. Да?
Peron?
Yes.
So, I am Ursula Mamintova. I am your tourist guide for today. Our program is I take you to airport and see you
Where is
safely.
Alyosha?
Who?
Alyosha, he was our guide.
Mr. Konchalovsky. He is unavailable. He has another client. Now, shall we start our program? Please, taxi here. Please, car waiting for you.
Come on, girls, now. Quick as you can. Come on. Hurry up and get your boarding passes, girls.
So, Alyosha has deserted us.
Yes,
Were you in love with him?
I suppose so. A little bit.
Внимание. Начинается регистрация и проверка багажа пассажиров летающих рейсом PA-837 Клору.
Come on now, come on, girls, come on.
Alyosha told me that he'd stolen the Virgin of Vitebsk.
What?
I suppose I'd better tell you the whole story.
The provenance is absolutely fascinating. Stalin sold it in the 1930s. He looted so many Russian treasures.
However, it was a perfectly legitimate sale by a head of state.
But once I agree with our accountant, quite legal. The grandson of the purchaser sold it to a dealer in New York.
It was recovered by the Russian army during the war and recently returned to the Ministry of Culture.
My dear fellow, it was brought into Klinsky's by a representative of the New York...
Ivan Grekov sent me certificates authenticating...
The New York provenance is fully documented.
So, there would appear to be a conflict in evidence.
And what did you find out about it, Ben? I assume you were doing something in Russia.
Apart from dancing and drinking vodka, of course. Maggie and I came to the conclusion it's a wonderful piece of art.
Well, I don't see what that's got to do with it.
No, I don't suppose you would. According to the records in the Academy of Arts, it was still at Vitebsk when Hitler invaded Russia. It was fought over, soldiers died for it, but I don't think the Germans got it. A young Russian officer looted it. His name was Kuprinsky, the husband of your friend Olga Krupinskaya. After he died, she hung on to it and waited for the moment to sell.
But she never did.
No, someone we met told me that he'd stolen it from her and would bring it to our hotel.
And did he?
No.
Why did we have to go to Russia, Mary? Why didn't you get a visa?
Oh, that was some bureaucratic muddle.
About smuggling icons in the past?
That's a perfectly outrageous suggestion.
Please, both of you. Let's be realistic about this. We're not detectives, Ben. Is it up to us to inquire too deeply?
Well, it depends whether you think we're reputable dealers or receivers of stolen property.
So, what should we do?
Well, I'll tell you what I think we should do. I mean, haven't we done enough to Russia? We've beaten her, we've defeated her, we've seen her broken up. We've given her all the benefits of our civilization. Crooked currency deals, pornography, crime in the streets. But for God's sake, don't rob her of all her art. Maggie will tell you, I got a bit bored hearing about the Russian soul, but leave them a bit of it. Do with this lady, there's only one thing to do. Send her back to where she came from, the monastery at Vitebsk.
That's quite impractical.
You mean it's right?
It's already been entered in our books.
I shall turn the matter over to our lawyers. If they say we can take Meredith Bland's documents at face value...
You'll flog her off for the highest bidder.
Isn't that our job?
Yours, perhaps. Thank God it's not mine. I'm going to buy a large drink. At least I know that Pop came by it in a legal manner.